All right, well, welcome, and please be patient because this is my first meeting that I lead, so I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'll give it a go.
You've been in enough meetings, Jose. You know this drill.
We'll see. And Mary provided me with a little cheat list of things that I'm supposed to do. So it looked like we do have a quorum. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm assuming that you all read the agenda. So I'm gonna call up the meeting to order. It is 4:03 on Thursday, the 22nd September. So did anybody get a chance to look at the agenda? It looks like we're here to vote again on 3 grants that were voted on this last Tuesday, I believe. I will let Mary talk about what the grants are, if you don't mind, Mary.
Absolutely. I'm going to share my screen. So the first grant, and just to reiterate what happened on Tuesday, was we thought we only had 5 official members. So we thought with 3 voting members, we had quorum, and then we were corrected. So we're meeting tonight with our quorum of 4 to vote on these last 3. These are the only 3 that need to be voted on because these were the only 3 that directly affected the Marriott. And so therefore Jim wasn't able to vote. Angela, do we still have you? I lost video. Okay, her name's popping up. There we go. Okay, I just need to make sure that you're on the call.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, so Miss Volunteer Wisconsin Pageant. This will be taking place in the Marriott. It is the first year for the event, the second year for the state hosting this event. Rick Rose is the contact, and he relayed to me that he would very much like this to become an annual event in Middleton, have Middleton be the host site. They only have an expected room block of 80, and that includes the staff and participants, but not family or anybody else who would be coming. He's saying the number of attendees are 300 to 400. We don't have any way of really knowing exactly what that's going to be its first year, right? He included in this packet, which you probably saw at the end, a description of what his grant request would be for. He's asking for $5,000, $4,000 for marketing, and $1,000 for production. This gives you a little bit more of an explanation of what those marketing goals are. And kind of a little bit more about what he's hoping to accomplish. Integration of video into the contestants' videos, Middleton into contestants' videos, streaming, this kind of thing. On Tuesday, we did not approve the full 5,000. I'll read to you what was discussed on Tuesday, and then you all can make a motion and vote on how you would like to proceed. On Tuesday, the discussion was approve $1,000 toward marketing expenses, which can be advanced to the organization, but still requires a post-event report with receipts and refunding of any unspent grant dollars from that marketing request. And then additionally, we could approve to pay $10 per room night booked at the Middleton hotel property, up to $3,000, to be paid out following a post-event report with confirmed overnight stays. So if he only books, 80 room nights, then the grant would be for $800. And then in this way, we've done this quite a few times in the past on grant requests, $10 a room night, to encourage larger room blocks. And those room blocks could be at the Marriott or other hotels, but they just have to be at a Middleton hotel. And so at this point, I can throw it back to Jose to make a motion to, if you guys want to approve that same thing, if there's further discussion, that kind of thing. If anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer those as well.
So does anybody want to make a motion, or are you okay with what was approved, the $1,000 toward marketing expensive and the additional $10 per room up to 300 to be paid after the rooms are booked, right?
Up to
Yes.
3,000?
3,000, sorry.
Up to 3,000, yes. So essentially, he could receive up to $4,000.
Which is
But
almost
it's
the grand.
contingent on, yeah, it's contingent on making sure that the room nights get booked in Middleton.
Does anybody wants to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make one. I'll make a motion on the application form for special project event funding for the Miss Volunteer Wisconsin pageant that we advance $1,000 for marketing. And then we approve $10 a room night for up to $3,000.
Anybody
I
wants
will,
to second
I
that?
will second that motion.
All right. Any other discussion about it or question? Then the motion is approved.
Oh, we have to
Gotta
vote.
put that-
Oh, everybody who agrees, please say aye.
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 Aye. All right, motion carries. Right?
Yep,
All right.
perfect. That's the part I always forget. I always forget to ask for further discussion and a vote. Okay, second, we have NATO Continental Dart Tournament. This is an event going on at the Marriott next month. I received this grant application. It was either, I think it was in May, possibly, is when it was sent first to Julie. Unfortunately, during the handover, it got lost in the shuffle. So he followed up a few weeks ago asking about it, and that's when we realized we were missing it. And so what we did on Tuesday was we asked everyone to consider this grant as if it had been presented in June. If you would have approved it in June, then we were asking to approve it now because it isn't the tournament's fault that we lost it. This is going on October 7th through 9th. Staff will actually come on the 6th and leave on the 10th. They are expecting 600 room nights. Jim Strom from the Marriott confirmed that this is usually a pretty well attended event. They were here last year as well. They're not booked for 23. I think the next 2 years they're in another city, and then there's an opportunity to possibly come back here. He was incredibly easy to work with on this. The request is for 3,000, and he gave a description of what all of his costs are so that we could see that, I mean, advertising and banners alone, the marketing portion exceeds what his grant request is. And on Tuesday, we discussed approving the entire 3,000, of course, again, with a post-event report on attendance and receipts on how that money was spent.
We know where he's gonna stream this event?
I don't know where he's streaming it or how that's working. I can ask. I'm wondering if it's his website. But I can totally ask that.
So we are looking at $3,000 to go towards advertising pretty much. Does anybody wants to make a motion to approve this grant? Or is there any?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this event was here last year. Is that correct?
Yes. Last year was its first year.
Did we grant it last year as well?
I didn't see anything in our in my grant folder for this
Okay.
one. So I don't think we did. If he applied, I don't think we did.
Okay, I was just wondering if anyone had any eyes on what the actual advertising had been.
Oh, no, that's a good question. I'm not sure what he did last year.
Okay.
I think when we were speaking, a lot of that advertising is direct communication with attendees.
Okay,
I think it might include mailers.
okay,
That might be part of it, but he also, the banners for the finale represent, I think, sponsors, and because I think if we might be too late, but we would have had an opportunity to have a banner. I can't remember who all the banners are for, but he has them printed up, I think, locally.
sure.
So, any
Is
other?
there any other question? All right, does anybody wants to make a motion to grant the $3,000?
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve the grant application for special project event funding for NATO's Continental Dart Tournament in the amount of $3,000 with receipts to follow the event.
Receipts and a post-event report. I'll put that in there.
Thank you.
Anybody wants to second?
I'll second the motion.
Any
Was that
further
Kathy?
No,
No, that was
Angela.
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 Angela, sorry, I was looking elsewhere.
Any other questions or discussions to be had about this grant? Everybody in favor, say aye.
I,
Motion carries then.
Okay. The last item, Madison Area Sports Commission, just to give you a brief intro, Angela, because we haven't had a chance to sit down or even give you your binder yet. So we partnered with them to help sell Middleton for sports events and lodging. So like events that have happened this summer at Capitol Ice, we were able to secure those through MASC, and you know, overnight stays that are from like Badger football or things like that. They've helped make those connections with us. And we set aside an amount of funds just for them for sports. So we have just an MASC grant fund for $40,000. And this year we've spent 25. So the grant request that they have proposed for the rest of this year has pretty much, it's going to use up the rest of that if we approve them all. This one, actually, it's for $7,000. And I want to say it's more than 1 year. Where does it say? Oh, this one, the event is in May 2023. It must be the other one that was more than 1 year.
mhm.
Here are the peak room nights expected. Right now, the only block that we have confirmed is at the Marriott. Let's see, I think that's all we have for that.
Is that confirmed? Because they haven't even confirmed the event yet, have they? That they're coming?
So from what I understood Tuesday is that if they confirm, their room block so far is set up at the Marriott because they needed to make sure that they'd have rooms before, you know, they could have the event. But no, I don't think anything will be confirmed until after they've accepted. And that's part of the grant structure. When they find out how much grant money they receive for different destinations. That's how it was kind of explained to me a while ago on some of these sporting events. It's kind of like we're bidding the
Right.
best package they can get from a destination is kind of where they choose to host their event.
So how would this 7,000 be spent for this event?
Facility fees and possible bus transportation.
Okay.
Maybe
So this,
marketing support as well.
I don't think for this one, that was the other one where they'd have to cover up certain banners and things, anything that I think had alcohol, they'd have to cover up.
Well, in the fund use, they have marketing support under the 7,000.
Yeah, it's right there. Bid fees, marketing support, transportation, contract employees.
Oh no, that's in a parentheses. That means that that's what we can use it for.
I see. That's not what they're gonna
Yeah,
use.
this was their answer.
oh yeah, okay.
Got it.
So have we done this one before? Because $7,000 is quite a bit of money.
Mhm.
Trying to,
I bet he said they've been here before, right? Yeah, because that's why they were thinking about, or that, yeah, because
hold on.
With
Yes,
ballots and-
they hosted the same group in 2017 in Middleton with a host hotel being the Marriott. Since inception, this event has frequently bounced between 6 to 8 cities throughout the US. Rotation is determined based on geographic rotation, competing cities, and experience from prior time in the city. If awarded, Middleton would have the ability to capture most, if not all, of the associated room nights with this group. Additionally, the surplus of attendees visiting the city would result in an increased bump in tourism spending throughout.
Did we do this same type of grant in 2017?
Hold on, I think if you give me a few minutes, I might be able to open that up. Stop sharing real quick. This is gonna take me a couple minutes. We're still working on reorganizing how the grant folders are structured. So.
What did
So-
we vote on Tuesday? What did we say then?
I think this is one that passed. The one that we're holding on to was Lacrosse America. That was the one that we weren't sure how many room nights we would get versus Verona or Fitchburg.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so this one on Tuesday, they did discuss approving, but one second, let me get back to the grants.
That's right. And we already have money into this account when we do grants with the sports marketing.
Right, this isn't affecting our destination partnership or tourism grant account. This is the, oh, there you are, 2017. No, according to this document, we did not award them a grant in 2016 or 2017. Sometimes we award grants the year before, but pay them out.
Mhm.
I don't see them in either. It doesn't mean that it wasn't deemed a good investment. It could be that they didn't even apply.
Sure.
Because I don't have a list of those who applied and didn't receive it, not in this document anyway.
Okay.
Well, were we working with Madison Area Sports Commission back then?
I think we've been working with them for quite some time because
Okay.
Julie came in at 2016, and I think that was already established.
Okay.
Because they used to be their own entity and then they joined with Destinations Madison, but I think we were partnering with them even before that.
Do they need our approval? If they have $40,000 allocated for them to use, do they need to come to us for approval on each one of these? So we would have known if they gave grant money to this organization, that would have had to flow through us?
Yes. So the $40,000 is set aside, but it's still our money. We're the ones
Okay.
who send out the letter and cut the check. And we are also responsible for the post-event report and making sure people follow through. MASC definitely is supposed to help us with that, but it is our grant money. We don't give the money over to MASC to dictate. We just
Okay.
set it aside in its own bucket.
Okay, all right, so they do come to us, okay.
Yep.
So there's no way it would have passed and we wouldn't have known about it, so that's my
Correct.
question.
Is there any more questions or concerns about it? Do we have a motion to pass
I
this?
I guess I do have a question, and I don't want to keep
Sure.
this meeting longer than we need to, but remember how we have grants that we give for events that are like for up to 3 or 5 years, the new to the city, but they haven't asked for any money before. So would they be considered this their 3rd year in Middleton, or would this be their,
Well, according to their grant, I can reshare that again. They were here in 2017. So it sounds like this is only their 2nd year.
2nd year? Since they didn't get, or are we saying they could only get the grant up to 3 or 5 years, whatever?
So in the new language for the grants, which haven't hasn't been formally adopted yet because it's still pending city attorney approval. How we have it now is that tourism grants or destination marketing grants have an aged out time. So tourism grants, we're saying new to Middleton up to like, I think 3 to 5 years. And then once you age out, it goes to destination
Okay.
partnership grants. And really those are only for marketing because we're assuming you're already established. We don't need to help you establish your event. We just need to help you market it. We don't have, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, someone else could chime in. I don't think we have an aging out system for MASC.
Okay.
So if we had a strong sports event coming, for 6 years, but it's bringing 800 room nights every single year, and what's bringing them here is a $3,000 grant, I think that we don't have it written in anywhere that we wouldn't have to, that we couldn't consider that.
Okay.
But I haven't gone through all the grant language for that one yet. I'm still working on tourism and destination partnership.
Okay.
But anyway, either way, even if we did, they've only been here once. So I think that they could still be considered a new business.
Mhm.
And especially with something like that where they rotate and we want them to keep coming back, that's something for the commission to consider.
Now, you say they're still in the bidding process. So does that mean, depending on the grants they get awarded, they will go to certain places or not?
I can't speak to that. From what I understand on these with the bidding process, like because we aren't hosting the event, obviously the room block is just at the Marriott. They don't have to choose the Marriott for their room block. They could choose, another hotel or another city. Does it even say where the thing is being hosted?
Wasn't it gonna be at Madison College?
I think that's right, but I'm trying to find.
Yeah, I
find it.
remember saying that championship game was there, and then what is it, the Nichols Complex? Is that what it is?
Oh, maybe that's
What
it.
was it?
It's like, how many times have I read this and I don't see it?
So we
Pretty
don't
sure
know
it's
how many of
Madison
those
College.
633 room nights, we don't know how many are in Middleton and how many aren't. That's total what they would expect.
This is the
Right.
pickup history. So apparently in 2017, we had 633. And this is also the history that was at Madison. So I guess I need to clarify that. They don't have anything booked in Middleton yet. But obviously, if they receive a grant, they have to create a room block in Middleton. And the reason why Jim couldn't vote on this is because since it was in Madison, Marriott West last year, there's a chance for like the main booking to be, we wanted to just make sure we're on the up and up, that he wasn't voting on something that had a history of being at his hotel.
So can I ask a question on some of the cost benefit analysis side of this stuff? The room nights and the occupancy tax that they generate would be about $4,800 on a $7,000 grant. So what is the triggers that we decide that something is a beneficial thing for Middleton to move forward with?
So you're definitely looking at room nights, but you're also looking at local economic development.
Okay.
So are they planning on spending any money in your community? And you can also look at it as, will this help establish, repeat business? And you can also look at it as brand awareness. So for instance, like USA Curling, actually I don't think we gave them a grant, or if we did, maybe it was last year's. But that was huge brand awareness for us. We spent $25,000 on the women's hockey championship in June. We absolutely, I don't believe, made $25,000 worth of hotel tax revenue.
Sure.
But we had people here for over a week eating at the restaurants every single night and shopping locally.
Sure.
And having an event that size, as Middleton being, on programs, as one of the, we were one of the hosts because it was at Capitol Ice.
Sure. Okay.
So that was a huge part to play in that too. So yeah, those are kind of the things that I've heard the commission batting around when deciding on approving a grant.
Okay.
There are definitely things that we're not going to necessarily make the ROI back in hotel revenue.
Sure, sure.
But like for instance, like the US hockey, excuse me, not US hockey, world hockey. That was just such a huge boon to the local economy. We saw people from like all sorts of countries every single night.
Nice.
And you knew it because they weren't speaking English. So you're like, oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure I ran into a group of Swedish and German girls trying to shop at Target during the renovation when nothing was where it's supposed to be.
Oh no.
So, but anyway, that's just kind of what I've heard people talk about.
Okay.
And that's also why sometimes we discuss like it's $10 per room night. But I've never seen, I don't think I have ever seen this, Kathy, correct me, on a sports contract, because for them, I do believe they just need a set amount. They need to know they're getting X number of dollars, and there's always still a post event report. And that's what this one was. This is from the 2017. But I believe we've never made it contingent on like, $10 per
Sure.
room. Could be wrong.
Mhm.
I just can't remember one that was. Sorry. If you can hear that bus, that's very loud. And if you guys have more questions or you don't feel comfortable passing this tonight, we can table it and I can have Brandon come back. I apologize. I didn't think Brandon needed to come tonight. And so I told him it was fine. And Brandon Holstein, who would be the person presenting this. But I mean, it's not till May. So there's a possibility that would be all right for us to wait until October to pass this if people aren't comfortable.
I'm
Well,
okay
there-
moving forward with it. I was just concerned about like getting into a cycle of diminishing returns on revenue. But if there's other factors involved, that's fine too.
Oh no, I understand that. Let me tell you.
I'm okay with it, moving forward. I don't think we need to, Brandon. We did talk a lot about it on Tuesday and I got a lot of my questions answered. So in my opinion, I'm ready.
What was your question then, Kathy?
Well, just to make sure that, this was, it was still pending and they're I feel like they're kind of shopping, to find out where they're,
Sure.
with the best deal. And we want to, this is a lot of room nights,
It is.
And it's also in May. I don't think that there's much going on
Right.
Yeah.
in terms of big events that time of year around here.
Well, graduation is a week or two before that, I think. UW graduation, isn't it? So it's around Mother's Day, and this would be after that. So
But I think-
I've never received a report on how UW's graduation affects our hotels. Like whether or not, like, is it pretty decent, Angela?
It's very good. It runs
Okay.
us ragged.
That's good to hear. I'm so
I
glad.
think we're almost sold out for that weekend already. So
Oh my goodness. It's not this weekend, right? When do they?
correct, it's
graduate?
not.
it's always Mother's Day, isn't it? Mother's Day weekend, and then
Yeah.
the 2nd of May and everything. It falls on that weekend. Yeah.
Any more discussion or questions about this grant? Does anybody want to put a motion forward? Can I make a motion?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the $7,000 for the North American Chinese basketball tournament. Anybody wants to second?
Second.
Okay.
Anybody that's in agreement with it, say aye.
I
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Great. Thank you, guys. I will make sure to contact everybody. Again, Angela, just kind of how we do it is we'll send out a letter The letter will state what they have been awarded, how it needs to be applied, any other stipulations, and kind of how they have to report back out. You know, most grants we do not advance. We require a post-event report. Some of the marketing grants are the ones that we do advance, but we still require the receipts afterward. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much.
You need a motion to adjourn. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right.
All right, so do we
All
need
in
to
favor?
acknowledge the items? All in favor? Aye.
Yep.
All right.
All right, well, thank you.
Nice job, Jose. Good deal.
Thank you so much, Jose. And just so you guys know, October 18th at the next meeting, we are going to do elections for officers. Destination Madison is going to give a presentation. We'll do our formal welcome for Angela. We've got a little, you know, thank you for joining us bag. And right now I have approved the outdoor center grant criteria. That's less of a you have to vote and more of a just make sure that I included everything that everybody wanted in the letter. So it's not something that requires a vote, just to make sure that all the stipulations the commission wanted to include, I make sure that I include those.
Do you have to
I'm-
meet with Yuri about naming rights and stuff yet, or how would that be? part of-
That's all to come.
Okay.
That's going to be one of the stipulations. And I'm assuming everybody was fine with Middleton Nordic Center, which is what he suggested. But what I can do too is send out the letter to the entire commission. And then you can respond just to me with any like edits or questions. You can't reply all because that becomes a walking meeting and that's a violation of open meetings. But you can just reply to me with, I don't like this, or I want to add that, or that's great. And then that way I can use that to move forward with the actual letter that I send out. I don't think I have anything else for you guys. And since we've closed the meeting,
Okay,
have a
deal.
great night.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Everybody.
thanks,
See ya.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.